Hello. I thought I'd shoot a quick video of myself. I'm in Thailand. I'm in a place called Hue Hin, working at a health resort called Chiva Som, helping people with their emotional and physical concerns. And today is my 3rd anniversary as a Havewning techniques practitioner. So Havewning is a psychosensory technique which involves a touch and distraction techniques to help relieve emotional and physical concerns. It has been developed over the last 14-15 years, predominantly by the founders, Dr. Ronald Rudin and his brother, Dr. Stephen Rudin. And they discovered that soothing, sequenced touch to the arms, face or the hands has a predictable response to the brain and also to our emotions and to our physical problems. So just to say very, very succinctly and briefly, you can always message me and ask me more questions or look up Havewning techniques. It's or havewning.org or go to my website quantumepr.com. I've been doing therapy since about 1992. Havewning, I would say, is one of the most effective and most fantastic techniques out there for relieving any emotional concern. I mean, fears, phobias, depression, anger, cravings, chocolate and cigarette, and can help with weight loss, and can help with many and all emotional concerns, and many physical things as well, because neck, back and shoulder problems, there's always an emotional component, an emotional cause. Many people say that their physical aches and pains are heightened when they are particularly stressed or anxious. So that just goes to show what stress and anxiety can do to the body, and also to increase pain. And also the anxiety of having pain, aches and pains, can also make it feel a lot worse than it is. So what I would do is I would release the stress component of that particular ache and pain, and very often the ache or pain itself will alleviate and sometimes completely go. Anyway, so Havewning techniques is a psychosensory therapy, and so Dr. Ronald Rudin and his brother Stephen Rudin discovered that by very soft, gentle stroking of both arms. I can only do one because I'm holding the camera. Both arms like this, or to the face, releases a very slow electrical delta wave to the brain. Now this slow electrical delta wave releases an enzyme, a very specific enzyme called calcineurin, and goes to the amygdala, the part of the brain, the emotional center of the brain, fight or flight part of the brain, and whatever receptors have been activated. So we have receptors to whatever our emotional concern is. So say we're angry at something, a divorce we might have had, or a phobia or something. Whenever we think about that, we have specific receptors in the amygdala which light up whenever we think about that, and that activates the emotional component to that problem, you could say. And so by gently stroking the arms or the face or the hands, it activates this very slow electrical delta wave, releases this enzyme called calcineurin, and it goes to that part of the brain which had been activated by thinking about the problem. So people come to me and they say, okay, I have this phobia or this fear or this craving. They activate that part of the amygdala. This enzyme comes along and goes to those specific receptors which have been activated, and they are kind of hooked to the amygdala with phosphorus, and this enzyme comes along and dissolves, you could say, the phosphorus at the base of these receptors, which are kind of permanently holding them, hooking them to the amygdala. And this enzyme dissolves that phosphorus and permanently releases the receptors which is causing your stress. And then, so after you do that for a couple of minutes, stroke alongside distraction techniques, because you don't want the receptors to be continuously activated. You do that for maybe 10 minutes with some humming, some counting, so distracting that part of the brain whilst the Havewning technique is doing the real work. And then you come back to the thoughts, so you think about the fear or the phobia or the ache or the pain, whatever it might be, and see where you are on a scale of 0 to 10. So you might start off and say, oh, I feel depressed, I'm an 8, or I'm feeling angry, it's 9, whatever it might be. And then you do the technique. Then after 10 minutes or so, you go back to the thought and just see how it feels. And more often than not, it will be significantly reduced, if not gone. And it can really work that fast, unbelievable as it might seem. So I know I would suggest you go to my website, say quantumepr.com, look at the official Havewning website, which is havewning.org, and see for yourself. Look at some videos, say ask me some questions. It really is an amazing technique. I just wanted to introduce you to that, very briefly and succinctly. There's a lot of science behind it, which I'm not going to go into. Frankly, I don't concern myself too much with the science. I'm just the kind of guy that deals with more the what does it do and how can I help you overcome some problems. So there you go. That's Havewning techniques, and look into it and maybe chat to you again soon. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.